Good evening, everyone. This is Bremster, and today I'm coming to you with the Great Cornsnake of 79. I have no idea what that means. None whatsoever. This is a puzzle by rockratzero. This is a fog puzzle, which I was told this would be just a bit of fun because it's kind of a 1 to 2 difficulty puzzle. And then I looked through the rules and went, I can't see how the rules on this one make it a 1 to 2 difficulty puzzle. The rules themselves kind of bump the difficulty up because while they may be easy implementations of the rules, I think they're just on their own. They're just going to make it a little bit more tricky than that because the understanding of how those rules work. We'll see. So, not a lot going on the channel. It's holidays, and I'm just recording a whole bunch of stuff in advance so I can take a break. So, yeah, let's have a look and see how this one goes. So, it doesn't state, or it kind of does, but it's okay. A snake hides in the mists. Only the head and the tail of the snake are visible. I take it those are these cells. As the fog lifts, it will reveal the snake's true extent. Now, if this is a normal fog puzzle, and I assume it has to be because it's in the software, as you place digits in the grid, that will reveal the all of the adjacent cells. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 in each row, in each column, and each box without repetition. There is a modular line snake. The digits on the snake form a modular line. Meaning every 3 subsequent digits on the snake will form a set of modulo 3 digits, which means one will be from 147, which is, if you divide it by 3, there will be a remainder of 1, one from 258, and one from 369. So all you need to think about is if you were to look at the numeric keypad, either in Sudoku Pad or on your keyboard, the vertical banding, 147, 258, 369, in each set of 3 digits along the line. Say the line goes there, there, and I don't know, there. Did it say it had to move orthogonally? Doesn't say that, or at least it hasn't said that yet. Then each of these would be, one of these would be from 147, one would be from 248, and one would 258, and one would be from 369. Okay, the snake visits all 9 boxes, only connects orthogonally, so this is not legal. Already I've broken it, and never touches itself even diagonally. So what that means is if the snake was, as we're solving, we'll do it, but it means that if the snake, well, we know it enters this box, so it could not, well, actually, yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but it means that whichever direction the snake goes, no cell that touches the cell. So if the snake did this, let's use blue. If the snake did that, then the snake couldn't also do that because it would be touching itself diagonally because these 2 cells touch themselves diagonally. I know that looks like a long distance, but that's my understanding of how that works. Outside clues. Values outside the grid sum the digits on the first section of snake seen from that clue in its row or column. Okay, so what that means is these clues, let's use this 15. If these 4 cells were on the snake, what that would mean is that those 4 cells would have to sum to 15. However, if these were the first line, ones in the line that summed to on the snake, and these summed to 15, we couldn't put anything in here because if I did that, for example, then these would be the cells that summed to 15, and they would be the ones. Yeah, it's the first set of snake digits in the direction as seen. So, for example, if it was those, then those would sum to 12. Yeah, it's the first complete segment of snake in the direction as seen by that must sum to the digit. So I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. Now, one thing I can tell straight away is these enter the fog. Okay. Now, this is a 3 clue, but it's at least 2 cells long. So this has to be a 1, 2, and it can't continue. So this has to turn. But I don't know which direction it turns. So, yay. What I can tell though is in column 5, there is a 42 length of snake, but I can see that the snake doesn't enter here or here because the snake is given, it's just concealed in the fog. So that is at the length of snake. Yeah, the snake hides in the mists. Only the head and tail are visible. As the fog lifts, it will reveal the snake's true extent. So these two cells add up to 3 because the entire column sums to 45. 1 through 9, all of the digits in the column add to 45. 45 minus 42 is 3. So those two cells have to add to 3. The only way to make 3 is 1 and 2, the same as over here. So that, I think, means the snake can't go this way. Because if the snake went this way, it couldn't go down because then it would touch itself touch itself basically, because what would happen is it would need to touch this center band again. And this would be like, let's do this in blue again. If it did this, this is touching itself because these cells and these cells aren't connected, but they're next to each other, and it's not allowed to do that. I know when you're drawing in the middle, it's easier if you highlight. So if I was to highlight rather than draw the line, although the line's what's important, and I'll keep doing that. But just so you know, if I highlighted all this green and that being the snake, and then I went this way, you can see automatically this now is connecting up. Basically, the snake is the all of the cells. So, and the reason that would be a problem, and I am going to continue doing this line, but it's easier to see if you're not using the lines because they don't look like they're touching. But when you do this, I've still got to get a 9 and an 8 and a 3 and a 5 in here. Well, first of all, these would now automatically connect up, and these can't sum to 5 because the minimum I can make 3 cells is 1, 2, and 3, which is 6. So that's automatically broken. And this would have to connect up because if this now went down, as you can see, these cells are touching. Because wherever I went with here, this is not a single line. Like this is a touching snake. So that's not going to work. It can't go in that direction. So I'm going to uncolor that. I'm actually going to uncolor all of this. But we can see that this snake can't go in this direction without touching. So it has to go back to green. It has to go that way because it can't continue. And now it can't come out and it can't go up. So it must go down. And this is part of a 9 length. But this is part of a 5 length. So this is either 1, 4 or 2, 3. Whoops, 2, 3. But this is part of a 9 length. Well, if this stopped here, it would have to go back and then it would be touching itself. It can't go this way because then the snake would be touching itself. So this must continue. But this digit is a minimum of 3 or 4. It can't be 5. So if it was 6, so if it's either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it can't be 1, 2, or 5. So it's 3 or 4. If it's not 3 or 4, it's 6. And 6, 3 is already 9, but I have to include this. So this has to be 3 or 4, which means these sum to 7. So this doesn't mean this has to be 2, because if it's a 1, where do I get the final 1 from? If this is a 1, I'd need to get 1 more from somewhere. I can't do it. This is a 2. And that's, of course, revealed the snake, and I can see more of the snake. So I can undraw that line segment. I've got my 3, I've got my 9. And I can see that that's continuing in here. Now, this has to go in some direction, and it can't go this way, because if this goes this way, it's going to end up touching. So this is going to go this way. Now, this can't go down. This has to go this way, because this is the thing that's splitting the grid in half. So this snake has to come in at the bottom and out at the top. Because again, this couldn't go this way or the snake would be touching. So it couldn't come up here and then in here to come out at the bottom because this is too close. Now I've got to get another 8 down here somewhere. But I don't have 2, 3, or 4 available. So it's either going to be a single 8 or 1, 7. I don't see this as a 1 to 2 star puzzle. It's possible I'm just missing stuff. So we know that these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. Got my 3. Now, if this goes down, it'd have... Hang on, can this go down? Because let's do it with colouring again to make it more clear. Not there. Let's do this with colouring again. If this went down, I'm using blue to call it out. If this went down, this would go to here, but they're now touching. So I couldn't then divert or anything. They'd literally have to hook up like that. But then I don't have the 8 in here because this is a 9. So this can't go down. So this has to turn. But I've got to hook up to here somewhere. If I come down, this could be... hang on. This couldn't be a 3 on its own, though. This has to now go down. It has to go somewhere. But this can't be a 3 on its own because there's a 3 here. And it can't go backwards because then this snake would be touching. So it has to go that way. And then it has to turn, so it has to go this way. Can't double back because then it would be touching. It continues. Now it has to turn because it's hit a corner. Can't go up because then it would be touching. Can't go up because those two cells touch each other, so it continues. And now that just hooks up. That's really clever. Because now I can put an 8 in there. These sum to 3, so these are 1 and 2, and I know the order because of that 2. That's a 1 and that's a 2. And now I can undraw all of that snake. Well, not all of it, just to there. That was very cool. But I've kind of run out of information. Modular line. I forgot this thing is a modular line. So this has to have the same modulo as that because it's 3 along the snake. It's not 1. This is from 2, 5, 8. So it's 2. This is 1. Now these are 3 and 4. Now this is 1, so this is from 147, and this is from 147, so that's the 4 and that's the 3. This is not 7. So 1, 2, 3, this is from 147. 1, 2, 3, this is from 147, and we know the shape of this. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, those are from 147. And these ones can't be 1 because I've got a 1, 2 in the column. Now these are from 2, 5, 8. So 1, 2, 3, that's from 2, 5, 8, and it's not 2. So 1, 2, 3, that's from 2, 5, 8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Those are from 2, 5, 8. And these ones are not 2 because they're C. It's given me a 5, 8 in the row. And these other ones have to be from 3, 6, 9. So that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one are from 3, 6, 9, which is the other modulo band. This one is not 3. This one is not 8. That's given me a 6, 9 in the column. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 5 and 7. This is actually weird. I like it a lot. This is not a 1 because of the 1 in the box. Okay. Now, there's often a trick you can do by counting, like this could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Actually, this is limited. This is limited. This can't be a 6. So this, Right, here's the trick. This has to be a 10 band. Now, I can't do it there because it's entered this cell. So this has to turn. And the reason it has to turn is this has to sum to 10. And if I'd gone straight up, this would have been the first thing it would see, and that would need to be a 10 digit. So this now has to turn. I can't double back, so this continues straight. However, now it could double back. But these now sum to 10. Now, there's going to be a way of connecting these up. Now, If I put 15 like in here, how would I then, I could connect up around here. I could go up and around, and then I could go, and hang on, I couldn't go down and back. I can't go into that cell. Because if I go into that cell like this, how do I get out? That's not allowed because those cells would be touching. So I can't go into that cell. And if I went straight through here, how do I make the 12 work? Because the 12, if I went straight through here, this 12 would be a single digit, and that's not going to work. So I need to have a vertical, the first thing in here needs to be a vertical band. Now this could go up, so this can't go up and along. So if this went up and across, this would have to go down, and that's broken. So this can't go up. It can't go down, so it has to continue. And now the first thing it sees is a vertical band. Now, could it go up and along? No, it can't, because if it continues, no matter how I do it, it's got to come out within the fog. And coming out within the fog means I'm having to touch this cell, which means the snake will be touching. So this must go down. Now, this is the 15. Now, I could go this way maybe, or I can, yeah, there's multiple ways of doing this, I think. Because I could do that, and that's not touching itself. I could go down and do that. That's not touching itself. So there's a whole bunch of options there. But I can continue the modulo, because these are from 258, and it's not 2 or 5. So that is 8. And my snake has been confirmed. But this continues into the fog. This one is 369. But this is a 12 clue. And it has to continue. So this can't sum to more than 4. So this has to be 3. This has to be 3 and 1. And that will complete the snake. So I can do the rest of the modulo line. This, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. These are from 258. That one's not 8. That one's not 2. That one's not 2. These are from that one, and 1, 2, 3 is from 369. And these are from 147, and neither of those are 1. And that's the modulo line done. I've now also got the snake. I have not been paying anywhere near enough attention to Sudoku either. This is not a 3 because there's a 3 in the row already. Oh, this one, that's been there for, I don't know, ever. There's no 1 here. It's got to be Sudoku at this point. 2, 2, there's 2 in one of those 2. 3, 3, there's 3 in one of those 2. 1, 1, 1. 1 is in one of those. Ah, this one looks down. That's a 4. So the modular line and the snake aren't going to help me anymore. I've got all the modularity and I've got the whole snake. It's now just Sudoku and the totals. Right, the totals. This has to sum to 15. So if this is a 7, I've already hit 15. That'd have to be a 0. It's not a 7. If this was a 9, I've already hit 17. That's way above 15. This is a 6. 6 and 8 is 14. That's a 1. The 6 takes the 6 out of both of those. This 1 means 1 is in one of those 2. And this becomes a 1-2 pair, which is known because of that 1. This is a 2, this is a 1. Two, not sure. This color of green is very hard to read digits on. It's got just the wrong amount of blue in it. Where does 8 go in this box? So 8 can't go in here because this is a pointing pair of 8s. 8 can't go in here, and 8 can't go there because it's the wrong modularity. That's an 8, so that's a 5, which makes that an 8. Which means this is not the 8. The 6-9 pair makes this the 8. There you go. Now 8 in this box. No. Very tricky to scan. 3, what about 4 in this box? No, 5, 6, 7. Hang on, what are these two? What are these? They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9. Well, there's no 9 there, but that's really not telling me much. 5, 8. So is it... Okay, I can get rid of the overlay line for most of this. Like, that's not relevant, that's not relevant. This is all that's relevant now. I'll probably get rid of that and that as well. There'll be something with the scanning on this. So is it column 3? 1, 2, 3. I've got to put a 5 has to go in here by Sudoku. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. But I can't put 5 in any of those because they're the wrong modularity. So that becomes the 7. This becomes the 4, which completely reveals the whole line. I mean, it doesn't, but you know what I mean. So this 7 means this is 5, which puts 5 in one of those two. Nine in this box is in one of those two because of this 9 looking up, which means in this box 9 is in one of those two, and by modularity it's there, which means this is not the 9. Oh, this is a 6, so this is a 5, and this is not a 5. Actually, I should check all those totals. So this is an 8. Okay, totals. So this is a 10 line, so it's 4 and 6, which makes this 3. Okay, so what have we got? We've got a 5 line, which was done, 15 line, which is done, 6 line, which is done, 3 line, which is done, 10 line, which is done. 9 is done, 8 is done, 3 is done, 42 is done, except this 9, of course, has made this 3. It's just taken 3 out of there. This is actually a 9. And the 12 line is done. So they're all done now. But I should have remembered that earlier. These are 2, 5, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 2, 5, and 8. And there's no 2 or 8 there. So that's the 5, which takes 5 out of both of those. So that's a 2, 8 pair. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are a 5, 6, which makes this the 9. Because that was 5, 6, or 9, which makes this 6, which makes this 9, which makes this 5. So this is now a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Now there was no 3 there. Okay, so what is this row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's no... okay. This is also 3, 6, or 9 for the column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 3, 6, or 9, and it's not 9 because of that. Oh, this 7 made this 4, and there's no 9 here. So the 3, 6 looks up, making that 9, which makes that 6. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 3, 7. There is no 1 there. There is no 3 there. Okay, so we're getting down to the, it feels like we're getting down to the tail end of Sudoku. I just need to find the gaps. 4-7 pair makes this a 3. There might be stuff going on in this row, but it's a bit messy. 2 is in one of those two. 3 is in one of those two. No, that's not that helpful. I've got to put a 2 in this column somewhere though. I can't put it in this box and I can't put it there by modularity. So that is a 2, this is a 5, which makes this a 6, which makes this a 5. The 6 looks over, making that 3 and that 6. The 3 looks back, meaning that's not the 3, this is the 3. This 4 made this 7 ages ago, which makes this 4, unless I just got it and didn't pay attention. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is no 9 there. The 2 and the 8 are not resolved. Okay. But this column is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 9. So this is 4, 7, giving me a 4, 7 pair. This becomes the 9. Cornsnake. Okay, fine. Sure. There's corn in the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 6. This is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, and 9. This 9 makes this 2 and this 9. That means 2 is in one of those two. I've got to put a 6 in one of those two, because 6 can't go in those. Ah, this 7 looks up, making this 4, this 7, this 4, this 7, this 7. There's no 7 here. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on, but there's a 5 in the... Oh, there was a 5 in the column. I was scanning by column and I couldn't see that digit. So 4, hang on, let's do it by box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 6, 8. Which does match the column. That's a 5. Is there a way I can highlight this to make it more visible? Not really. Doesn't matter, I've done it now. So this is not a 6 or an 8. This is a 4. So that's a 6 or an 8. So I've done the whole snake and everything. I've just got to find where... So this is a triple. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3. There's no 3 here. There's no 1 here. This is not collapsing like a 1 or 2 star puzzle would, or I'm completely blind. Oh, no, I've already done the modularity, so it's not that. But this 4 is looking at making this 7, which makes this 3, which makes this 1, which makes this 7. The 1 makes this 2, which makes this 3. The 2 looks down, making this 8, which makes this 2. The 6, 8's not resolved yet, but this box is going to do something. Can't put 1 there or there, so this is the 1. 2, 3, I need to put 4 in this box, and it can't go in either of those, so that's the 4. I need to put a 6 in this box, and it can't go there, so this is the 6. This is the 8. Either of those will cover for making that 6 and that 8, and that is the Great Cornsnake of 79. Cool? I mean, yeah. I mean, I would expect anything that's rated sort of 1 to 2 stars to basically be gas level, and most people to be able to push through that in sort of 12 to 13 minutes. It took me 25. If I was rating that for one of my puzzle packs, I would call that, it would definitely be a walk, but I would call it a hard walk, like at the end of the walks, because snake rules are not something most people are familiar with. I know there's been a lot of them around recently, but still. And the modular line on top of the snake is really cool. And the fog, of course, adds some interesting concepts as well. Discovering the snake into the fog was really cool. I loved the puzzle. I really enjoyed discovering, especially being able to draw the line straight through the middle of the grid, even though you knew nothing about it. Really cool. I loved the concept. I thought the puzzle was excellent. Just, again, not so sure about the difficulty. I think it's a perfectly fine puzzle and definitely a very appropriate for the sort of difficulty I bring. 25 minutes is still on the low end of what I try and do. But yeah, rating it 1 to 2. It's a 3. Let's call it an easy 3. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope that you're enjoying everything and having good holidays. Mine haven't started yet. I'm recording in advance so I can take a holiday. Yeah, thanks as always. Yeah, so much stuff I want to say and none of it's valuable. So good luck with your solving.